Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the Altcoin show, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about the one coin to rule them all, what's happening with altcoin season. We're going to check out some charts, some other news, and some fun facts. And of course, before we get into all that, you know what I'm going to say. If you're a regular watcher, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help to support the channel. I appreciate all the wonderful, kind words that you have left in the comment section below. You take the time to write it. I take the time to read it. And those of you who have left questions in the comment section, I do look to get back to those as soon as I am able to. And if you'd like to connect with me more directly, you can engage with me in the Stocks with Josh Discord. Now, there are links to sign up in the description of this video just below. You might need to click the more button. It will pop out to the description. And you can find me there in the crypto channel with some of the most amazing people on the planet. There's also the meme coin channel, aka the Party Zone. And I have my own Crown Traders channel in there as well, where I share education, insights, resources, some of my trade setups, and of course, entertainment. Because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so I'd love to see you in there. There's where you can join up. And just under that, of course, is my X handle. Start following me on X there. And I do share a bunch of stuff there as well, of course, and that's also a way that I can find you for my free giveaways. I can't give away to everybody, but we do randomly select certain people who are following me on X, part of the Tribal Trades community. That's how I find you. So follow me there. Also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and have a Sui wallet, because that's how we get you the coins via the Sui wallet, the Sui ecosystem there. And we've already had a dozen people that we have given away to. And so we'd love to give away to a few more people as well. Okay, so let's talk about altcoin season. See here, generally altcoins rally until around April or May. Of course, last cycle in 2021, it rallied until April, and there was a little bit of a sell in May and go away. And then we had a bit of a comeback, but not for all. Not for all. Only some altcoins then continued on. Some found their cycle top in April. So when you think about it, if history does repeat, there are some altcoins that will top out much earlier than the rest of the market. And the mistake can be to continue to put money in those thinking it's a dip, and really it's the dip that keeps dipping and never recovers. And some altcoins to this point, even from last cycle, just haven't ever properly recovered or not recovered very much. And so this is the kind of time in the cycle where I'm looking to really dollar cost average out of positions. Okay, I do feel the stronger altcoins and narratives will do well and will continue on. And I do feel that it's more likely that the bull run does finish around that September, October, November time. I'm kind of thinking at the moment around September, just to catch everybody off guard, because people think, oh, it finished in November, late November of 2021. And so we might see that little rectangle rear its head again. And we might see, although this September, the last just been, actually was quite bullish. And so that's what we're looking at for altcoins, a bit of a rally. And if your altcoin hasn't taken off yet, we're hoping that it does. I don't think all altcoins are going to take off as normal. I think some altcoins are going to move up a lot more than others, and some altcoins are going to struggle, and some altcoins are just going to be poking a stick at, going, oh my gosh, this thing's gone already. So the market cap others, which is minus the top 10 in market cap, as you can see, we had the breakout, the retest, and then the January move up. And we've had the breakout, we've had the retest, and now we're expecting a move up there. And so I do think if you look back to January 2021, altcoins didn't explode in January 2021 as per se. It was more like a slow burn that some sectors would take off first. And I think we're seeing the stronger narratives beginning to move, and then others began to follow before there was a full-blown alt season there. And of course, if we look at what could be one of the winners, which I think has already shown itself to be one of the really big winners, is Sui. Sui is coming to Phantom. That means all your favorite Sui tokens that you bought on the Sui wallet, you'll soon be able to buy via Phantom on the Solana, which is, Phantom is the home of Solana. There's also other networks. They're not silly. They want to bring more of the liquidity to that wallet. And so that is coming. We don't know when, but we would feel that it must be coming surely this first quarter to take advantage of that historic altcoin season. And of course, we can see that the Grim Reaper strikes again. We haven't done this for a while. Sui has kind of sat in that top 20 waiting to strike and has taken out Link, and Avalanche is next on the list. And then, of course, there is Tron and Shiba Inu, and I believe those will also be obliterated as Sui clearly will put itself in the top 10, possibly even the top 5 there in market cap. And so one coin to rule them all. I believe Sui has been by far the standout winner in this bull run and is the standout blockchain for speed, for also the transaction speed, cost, as well as a bunch of other things as well. You got Sui Play as well, which we'll talk about in a later episode there. And of course, Sui is up 850% since the bottom 5 months ago. Who could have told you about this on this channel since late May of 2024? It was on my cheat sheet, under $1. I continue to share and tell people that I remember feeling this way about Solana when Solana, back around this time that I discovered it and realized how quick and fast and efficient it was. And this is even quicker and faster and more efficient. And you can see it's now bypassed Ton and League, now the 12th biggest coin based on market cap, and is not far away from breaking into the top 10. Before we jump into actually suing some of the altcoins, I wanted to look at Sonic because I got a lot of requests for this, and then I ran out of time on yesterday's show. This was the most requested coin that I had. I should have done it first, so I do apologize. I wanted to save the most requested for last, but I'm going to do it first here and make sure we get it there. So you can see really that Sonic, after a parabolic rise, now remember I gave this coin at 2 cents, 2 cents in the Discord. I then gave it at 6 cents in the Discord and 6 cents on YouTube. So those of you felt that you missed out, I gave it at 6 cents. And this went on quite a parabolic run. But since that, and this should have really been a bit of a warning, when you see these long wicks like that, that's time to make sure that you put some profit in your jeans and you take some off the table. And then you saw further real downward pressure. And again, another bearish candle just pushing down. And then we're in a full-blown downtrend, and we are still in a downtrend at the moment. We are creating lower lows and lower highs. And so at the moment, we could see this retrace down into this area here. So this is where I've been buying in this area here. This is the value zone right here between $1.32 and probably 92 cents. Maybe even, it may not come into this wick here. So maybe this $1.07 to around this $1.32. This is an area that if we come down into here again, it's already come down into here once and twice. And so I've already picked up 2 buys in those areas. I've been very patient waiting, particularly when I saw this wick here. Now this long wick here was a very bullish wick and actually held up price for a little while, but usually these wicks get eaten up, or at least half of the wick gets eaten up, or all of it. So I was able to pick up some around here, which was great. And I'll be looking, now this necessarily isn't bearish. We just had a parabolic move, and it's pretty natural for a coin to retrace, for profits to be taken off the table. And this, if we start to go sideways along here, this is what I'm going to like to see. Even if we go down a little bit further and show some accumulation in this area here, then we could see a little bit. I do think we need a catalyst. I think a listing is around the corner. I think that if I was to be a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was to place my bets and give a guesstimation, I'm going to look around quarter 1 of this year, because otherwise a big chunk of the altcoin season is going to be gone. And as we know, some don't even come back and recover. So this would be the moment for these listings to happen sometime in this quarter between January and April of 2025. Of course, we're in 2025 there. And so that's where I'm at. Some people were saying, should I buy? Should I sell? I'm not selling. I sold and took profits, of course, well up around these areas up here, okay? And then I've been very patiently waiting as this has retraced and then looking at adding back, and I've added back there already for Sonic. If we do look at Bitcoin dominance, we do see this as breaking down, and we would want to see this continue to break down, maybe a possible retest here and further capitulation. We do want to take out this low that was back in December. I know some of the people were saying, well, my altcoins were doing better in December than they are now, yet Sui is doing better than it was in December. And this is why it's so important to be in the right altcoins. This is why I've never really, I've got my big three, and my big three are Tau, Sui, which is my top, of course, and then Tau, and then Solana. And those have been my big three. And so I feel like with obviously with Sui, this has been the big performer so far, and this has been the standout. So more of my liquidity goes into Sui and into the Sui dips because I'm seeing better strength in this token. I do still believe $25 in 2025. That's what I'm still thinking. Of course, we have all the virtuals. We covered some of the virtual AI agents such as Virtual and AI Fun. And there's been a couple of other tokens that I have given and I will continue to give on this channel. And we are going to cover some broader range of AI agent tokens, which seem to be the new flavor at the moment since they really burst onto the scene around October of 2024. And I first bought those coins to you. And of course, Virtuals and AI Fund both did well over 100%. And I think they've got a lot of room left to run there. If we look at AI Fund, we talked about this one yesterday. This is broken down, and so I'd be waiting to look to add maybe at this 4-cent level to have an order there. Virtuals has performed a whole lot stronger, of course. This has been the one that tends to lead the pack at the moment, but it still is in a significant, that's a wick, significant wick there at the top from about $5.24. And so I'm thinking that we continue to see this breakdown at least until this level here. We're in a downtrend here and have been 1, 2, 3, fourth straight day in a row. So it wouldn't, after such a parabolic move up from this 50-cent region where it went sideways. We saw a little bit of sideways here, a little bit of sideways here up. Maybe this just is going to be a little bit more sideways, and then we go on a bit of more of a parabolic move up. If you don't have any virtuals, this might be an area here just to nibble in here for just in case. Bag buy, maybe a fifth of your budget if you're looking to put 500 into it. Maybe I'd put 100 in here and then wait to see what happens with these levels here if we come down and start to test some of these levels a little bit lower. I mean, gosh, the 50-day moving average is all the way down at $2.16. So this is really, really overcooked. At some point, it's going to come back and retest there. It's just where the 50-day moving average will be. Of course, we've got a double Fibonacci line down at $2.61, which was where I originally gave the entry on the Discord there, gave that entry, and that went up a beautiful 100% gainer on that. I actually gave it a couple of times at around that $2.61 level. Even at that $2.41 level, I also gave an entry there for around here. And if you're fortunate enough to grab these wicks down to $2, that would have been a lovely area to pick some up there. With AI Fund, that's been another one as well that I've looked at that has, obviously in a big retrace at the moment, okay? And let's jump into Sui, and Sui has gone on a parabolic run there. We found some. So my original take profit had been at $5.62. That's why I had the buy order set up to sell. However, I wanted to see what happened, and when I saw this rejection candle here at $5.35 and then a second rejection candle, I did take the profits off the table for my swing position only. I haven't touched my hodl position yet, and I'm probably not looking to take profit on any of that, maybe until around the $7 to $10 region for Sui. Yes, I do think it is going to get up that high, okay? So we could see this come back here and retest. I wouldn't be surprised if we came back and retested here. We have these wicks here of support. It broke through, come back for a retest around this, and this could be an entry here around this $4.97. Now, of course, if I do feel that Sui is going to go to $25, some might say, well, why not pick up a hodl bag at $5 there? there might be some people coming in to the bull run for the first time. Maybe it's your first time in crypto. And yes, that could be a place to pick up, again, what I would call a just in case bag buy. I see too many people and they're saying, oh, I put $1,000 and now it's only worth 100, or it's only worth 300 or 500 or whatever. Whereas the way that I would have done it is put 200 there, 200, 200. 200. I would have split my buys up at dollar cost average, grid trading, as I would call it, at these different levels here, so that if it does come down, and I did that with Deep Book, and it did work out quite well. I actually managed to stop out of Deep. And if you're able to do that, of course, if it comes down to here and you put a buy order in here, and then we lose this level, we might sit around here and then we lose it, and then this suddenly becomes support again, this just becomes a bit of a deviation, which may quite happen. You can stop out at these levels and then buy back in down at around lower levels like the $4.63 or down at around $4.36. But the reality is, at some point in this market, altcoins will take off and they won't come back. Just like what happened with Solana in January or February of 2021, where it just really took off and it didn't come back until the bear market. Sure, there were pullbacks that it came back, and there were other entries, but it just didn't really ever come back to these levels. And we are at that point in the market, this January, February time, where I do feel that that is going to start to happen. I do think that'll be the same with Potenza Tau. We're now back at the 50-day moving average, and we touched that, and I did pick up another buy at the 50-day moving average. Why? Because historically, that has been a good place to accumulate, as has the 200 EMA on the daily. And so if you look through your altcoins, and I'm not going to go through all the altcoins again today like I did yesterday, but if you look through all the altcoins, look at where they are in relation to the 50-day moving average. You can also add in there, of course, the 100 moving average as well. As you can see here on the chart there, you can see it is quite some way from its 50-day moving average, which is down around $4.12. But that's where I would put one of my buy orders down there. And you do have to move them as the moving averages move around, of course. And then if you look at Solana, again, it's being stopped at the 50-day moving average. So that could be a place, for example, to possibly add a buy. If it was to break above this 220 level, retest the support, then that could be an area. And I would rather buy than at $2.13 at the moment, because then I have confirmation that it's broken above a key Fibonacci level and a 50-day moving average. So I'm buying it about $7 higher than what it currently is. Now, of course, you think, hey, we're in altcoin season, this is going to go up. The Solana ETF is due to be decided upon. The deadline is January 23rd by a new administration to make that decision, from my understanding. And so you might want to front run this and pick some up. Of course, the 200 EMA on the daily is down at 178, and you had the chance down here and down here like I did to pick up some more, because historically the 200 EMA on the daily in a bull market uptrend is historically been a great place to buy, but so has the 50-day on moving average, as is the 100 moving average there as well, and the 200 simple moving average, which is down there on the charts. I just quickly, there is the 100-day simple moving average sitting at 194. So those are the three levels that I'm looking at, and those are the three levels that I like to buy, because I find where I buy at those levels, it usually turns out pretty good. And then you can have three levels that you buy at there. When this came down, you could have bought some at $194, and then you could have bought some at $180, and then buy some more if it breaks out through 220. And you can do the same thing for Potenza Tau and any of them, actually. And you look at Potenza Tau, and you can actually see that the 50 just is a little bit bearish going under the 100, but I would expect that it looks like that's popped back straight back up again. You want the 50 above the 100, and you want the 100 above the 200. And so you've got those four moving averages, the 50 moving average, the 100 simple moving average, the 200 simple moving average, and the 200 EMA on the day, again, have historically been good places and good times to buy the dips across the altcoins. So that's what I would encourage. Make sure those are added to your charts. Look at all your favorite altcoins. Look at where those moving averages, look at where the Fibonacci's are. I have training tutorials on all the stuff on my YouTube channel. And that's all we have time for today. But until the next episode, happy trading.